Let's talk today the difference between pulling these arms down and throwing this golf club out. What we do not want in the golf swing is pulling these arms down. What we do want is that feeling of the club head being thrown out behind us and whipped through the release. It's going to help us attack that ball from the inside, create a little bit more speed. With driver and with your irons. So, let's briefly, we're going to spend a little bit of a minute on this, what we don't want, because we don't want to keep going through what we don't want to do in our swing. But ultimately, when we're pulling these arms down, have a look what this does to the shaft on the way down. Now, a lot of you will be looking at this saying, actually, well, that looks very much over the top. That looks similar to what I do. And then a lot of you will be standing up into impact as your way of changing the pitch of your body to get that club back to the ball. So when I'm talking about pulling these arms down, is that feeling of wanting to hit the golf ball with your arms and starting your downswing in this motion. Let's now get onto that feeling of throwing that golf club out. Now, this is going to sound like a really over-exaggerated model, but we've got to stick with that. I've said this before on the channel, and I'll say it again. You've got to go to that opposite extreme to find that middle ground. So if we imagine a 6-week process, if we didn't take it to the opposite extreme, we probably over that 6 weeks wouldn't get to where we want to get to. We've got to work hard towards that. So what does throwing this golf club look like? How do we get that move? So I want you to feel that this is your move. So if you imagine that this was pulling your arms down, we're going to do this drill just standing upright, not in golf posture. We'll build it into golf posture as we go along. So this is pulling it down, okay? If we imagine that our golf ball now is teed up on the top of this. It's a blooming large tee peg, isn't it? If we're staying at this pitch of our body. If we're pulling these arms down, we can't hit that ball off that tee peg. It's just not going to happen. However, if we throw that golf club out behind us, then whip that golf ball through, now we can. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, Alex, the golf ball's never teed up at that height. Well, if you can learn that same move here, you take that to golf posture, it's the exact same thing. I've spoken about that baseball analogy before and how baseball is very much the same thing or similar reaction from the downswing. So top of the pitch, the ball coming and the batter hitting it away is very similar up to pitching over. So if we showed you this from this aspect, we're pulling down the handle, we can't hit it off. If we're thrown out behind us, into the golf ball, and what we're looking for as we come into impact is everything to be matched up. Left arm, golf club, leader is flat, club face towards target. Boom. So show you that again. Pulling down, no. Out, out, match it up. So there's a little bit of complexity to this. My wrists are making a little bit of this twisting motion to allow that club face to point to target. So breaking this down further before we take it into golf posture, I would feel like throw the golf club behind me, twist my logo over, whip it through. And that twisting of the logo over is this motion. We've spoken about it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but if we shallow the club, in order to keep the face in a relatively square position, we've got to feel like it strengthens. Shallow the club, strengthen the face, they're the two rules. So, taking this into a shot now, you might want to build it into your pre-shot routine where you just feel as though you stand up and, okay, I might make a few practice swings. Throw that club out behind me. Throw that club out behind me. Down in golf posture. Throw that club out behind me. Let it whip through. Over the golf ball now. Let's hit this away. Feel it. Throw it behind me. Let it whip through. And it will feel like you can generate a lot more speed, a lot more success if you're not pulling that down on the handle. So remind yourself of the benefits of this. More speed, shallower club, but also a lot more control of the club face relative to our path, which helps control the curvature. Hope you enjoyed that drill. That is the feeling of not pulling down on the arms, letting the club whip out behind us and come through to the golf ball. Thanks for watching.